Howdy howdy, it's Crafty Grinding back with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I'm going to cover round 1 results for the Dr. Octopus and Iron Man arenas and then jump into my round 2 predictions. So let's go ahead and start off with round 1 results. I went ahead and put an asterisk on the 4-star feature because I typically look at 2 different sources for the results, and one reported a 12.3 million and the other one didn't report a result, but it had one of the final results around 13 million. So I'm going to assume at this point it's the 12.3 million, and the top 10% came at 4.4 million. Regardless of which, the top 800 to get Dr. Octopus cut off at 12.3 million is quite low, to be honest with you. As you'll see in my predictions, I thought he would be similar to a Green Goblin and a Spider-Man and Stark Enhanced, whereas he played more like the Vulture and more like not even Carnage, Punisher 2099, that kind of thing. So definitely not like a hotly sought after new champion in the game. And then when another bit of a surprise was the Iron Man. Now, if you played against 2.3 is quite high for Iron Man. A lot of people thought he would be lower, but he did go for 2.3 million in the 4-star basic arena, with the 11 to 25% tier coming in at 1.55 million. And then we go to the 3-star arena, and Dr. Octopus did perform a little bit better here with a 1.1 in terms of a higher cutoff. His cutoff was at 1.4 million, and the 11 to 25% tier was at 641,000. So when you look at my round 1 predictions, I thought again Dr. Octopus would be kind of played like Green Goblin and Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, where again he played more like the Vulture. So this, in terms of the top 800, those results were off. The top 10% was right, but no big deal. I mean, the main key is, will you get the champion or not? The good news is, if you did play against the predictions, you did get them. You just had to put in some extra grinding time, too much extra grinding time. So that is not a good result for sure. Then as we look at the Iron Man, again, now the prediction, I thought he'd be a little bit higher than 2 million. Again, he came in at 2.3. So if you just went by the predictions themselves, you didn't get him. It was close. I mean, we were real close here. The grind target, you were fine. And then for the 11 to 25%, my prediction was right in that ballpark. So not a horrible prediction by any standard, but just kind of an average one. Now, if it was like 2.3 or higher, then this would have been a thumbs up, check mark, but instead we're just kind of a meh, kind of an average prediction because it was a little bit lower. And you know, if you didn't play to the grind target and just the prediction, unfortunately you didn't get Iron Man. Now when we look at the 3-star feature, 1.5 million was what I was kind of targeting, 1.55 to be exact, with the 660,000. So again, this was a little bit higher than the actual results, but I'd rather tend to the high side than the low side, because if you play to this, then you got them. So that's good news on that one. So what do we think about round 2? If we take a look at the data for the 4-star, there's 2 basic kind of trends you see. If it's a champion that has a really high first round, kind of like Carnage, Green Goblin, and for the most part Yondu. I mean, a lot of the previous champions as well, all except Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. Now he was kind of the exception, but other than him, if a hero had a really high round 1 result, their second round 2 result was much lower. Now on the other side, if they had a low first round result like Punisher or Vulture, what we typically saw was an increase in the 10% range for that second round. So I think that'll be kind of that's closer to what Dr. Octopus did than the other side, where a really high round 1 result, he kind of had a lower round 1 result for new champions of the game anyway. And then as we look at the 4-star basic, you can see that for low interest champs, which again I kind of categorized Iron Man at, he was on the higher end of that, kind of like the Black Bolt and Venom pool. But you can see for the most part, they either kind of stay the same, similar round 1, round 2 results, or they may go up or go down. There's not a lot of similarity between the different arenas. It kind of does vary. I will say though, when there's a 2 million round 1 results like Black Bolt and Venom pool, then you would see that round 2 is very similar. And then lastly, with the 3-star feature New Champs Arena, no matter if it's, no matter really how the 4-star feature cutoff results went, the 3-star feature pretty much are standard. First round high, second round low. And I think, on average, a 15% drop is what we typically see from going from the first round cutoff to the second round cutoff. So with keeping this all in mind, I think for round 2 predictions, if we're going to see Dr. Octopus come in a little bit higher, as we see, again, kind of similar to that new Punisher and the Vulture 4-star feature arenas where he kind of played similar to from a first round perspective. I think we're going to see his second round results come in at 13.5 million, and the top 10% coming around 4.6 million, and that 11 to 30% tier coming around 1.9 to 2 million. I think 2 million is really where that number is going to come in at. And then as we look at the 4-star basic, again, I think he's going to play more like a Venom Pool and Black Bolt, where the results are going to be kind of similar. So, it was 2.3 was the cutoff this time. I think it's going to be around 2.4 million. So kind of very similar. And then with the 11 to 25%, I think we're going to see that coming at 1.6 million. And then with the 3-star feature Dr. Octopus, I mean, there's typically a drop-off from the first round results, around 10 to 15%. So from 1.4 million, I think we're going to see him come in at 1.2 million, with 11 to 25% tier coming at 650,000. So these are my thoughts on where I think the actual cutoffs will be. If you want to kind of have a safe target to grind to, you can take those predictions and go as far as you want. I would recommend kind of like going to 14 million if you really want to get Dr. Octopus, 4.8 million if you really want to get to that top 10% in the 4-star feature, and then for the 11 to 30%, you want to go to around 2.1 million. As for Iron Man, if you really got to make sure you get Iron Man, I'd probably go at least at 2.5, 2.6 million, and then for the 11 to 25% in the 4-star basic, you'll want to go to the 1.7 million. And then lastly, for Dr. Octopus in the 3rd-star, and I'm going about 1.25, 1.28, and that should make sure you get Dr. Octopus. And for the 11 to 25% tier, go 660, 670,000, just a little bit over that last milestone rewards, and you should make sure to get that 11 to 25% tier rewards. So anyway, these are my thoughts for what kind of happened, the recap with round 1 and rolling into the round 2 predictions. Would love to hear any of your thoughts, any other thoughts in the community. Especially if they feel differently. Would love to discuss about it in the comment section. If you have any questions, throw them on down in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video, would really appreciate you hitting that thumbs up like button. And if you like this and other videos that I've got in the channel, would really appreciate a subscribe. Other than that, thanks a lot for stopping by and have a great day.